Rome wasn't built in a day, but some say it fell in one night. The year is 80 AD and the Roman Empire is at the peak of its power. But behind the facade of this great civilization lies an evil so dark that it will take centuries for the truth to come out. It all starts with a gift, a wedding gift for the emperor's daughter. He had an entire neighborhood leveled and turned into the largest entertainment complex in the world, complete with an 80,000-seat stadium called the Colosseum. To celebrate the opening, the emperor hosted a week-long festival, inviting 8 men of only one type, bald, short, or fat. Now that's a comedy special no one asked for. And the punchline was 5,000 of these men were crucified and thrown into the audience. Everyone clapped politely. Now you know why they call it the Colosseum. Because every day people would enter through these doors, excited to be part of the audience. They'd watch gladiators fight, animals attack each other, and sometimes even people. It was like a reality TV show, except more brutal and without the budget for CGI. But what if I told you there was more to the Colosseum than just blood and sand? You see, under the floor, there was a whole other world, a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers where condemned criminals were held before their execution. Some say the ghosts of these men still linger around the Colosseum, whispering their final moments over and over again. And you thought your morning commute was bad. Can you imagine being trapped in a cage, knowing that any second now lions could be set free to rip you apart? Well, apparently Julius Caesar did. In a fit of rage, he ordered 8 men locked up in the cages, then threw in 8 lions to make sure they wouldn't escape. The next morning, 7 empty cages and 1 very dead emperor later, the legend of the Cursed Colosseum was born. Of course, not everyone was destined to die such a gruesome death. I mean, who wants to end up as a lion's chew toy? Most of the prisoners were given a choice: fight to the death as a gladiator, or become a martyr by refusing to fight and getting killed anyway. And let's face it, the latter option is for chumps, because being a gladiator meant you got to wear really cool armor and use really cool weapons. Plus, you might get to live, sometimes. But what if you weren't a fighter, like most people? Turns out you could still find a way to die in the Colosseum. If you were really unlucky, you might end up in the audience when the fighting started. And don't think for a second those gladiators wouldn't strike fear into the hearts of spectators. They were trained to fight to the death, after all, and sometimes they took it a little too seriously. One gladiator named Commodus actually murdered his trainer because he got fed up with losing. And to think both of them were working for the same team. Talk about a stab in the back. Another time, a group of Christians gathered at the Colosseum to pray, only to be attacked by a band of armed thugs. As the Christians fell victim to the mob's fury, their blood spilled into the sand, creating a horrifying image seared into the minds of those who witnessed it. Word of the massacre quickly spread throughout Rome, reaching the ears of the emperor himself. He realized that he had made a terrible mistake. No one was safe in Rome, not even the emperor's own daughter. So he spent the last years of his life in fear, always looking over his shoulder, wondering if the Christians would come for him too. But perhaps the most terrifying story of all happened on the very last day of the Colosseum's existence. During the demolition, workers discovered a secret tunnel leading to an underground chamber. Inside, they found the mummified remains of a man and woman, forever frozen in a passionate embrace. Some say they were lovers who died during the construction of the Colosseum. Others say they were 2 of the 8 men who received the ultimate gift, cursed to roam the corridors of the Colosseum for eternity. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: the spirit of the Colosseum still lives on in the whispers of these ancient walls, reminding us of the darkness that once lurked within. So the next time you walk past the Colosseum, remember, you're not just looking at a pile of old stones. You're staring into the abyss, and the abyss is staring back. Wait, I thought you'd never stop talking. Now leave a comment below. What should we talk about next?